Hi, Charles with Booksage here. It is Friday, October 20th, 2017, and this is my Friday Reads. This week I've been participating in the Spookathon Readathon. It actually runs all this week and finishes at midnight on Sunday night. So I've got the rest of this weekend to finish up the books that were on my Spookathon TBR. And I'll link that video down below, which shows you my TBR and has links to the original Spookathon video. I think Books and Lala and two other people put that together, and they're the ones running that. So, right now, one of those books is Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book, and I'm a little over halfway through with this. I expect I'll finish reading this tonight. That's my plan for Friday night, is to finish reading this book. This is quite wonderful. Really, really enjoying this. I knew I would. I'm a big fan of Neil Gaiman's writing, and big fan of the way his mind works with story. So I was expecting this to be a lot of fun, a really good read, and it really, really is. And this particular version is really cool because, and I've shown this before, you get all sorts of illustrations in there. But again, I will finish this up tonight is my plan. And then I'm a couple pages shy of halfway through The Exorcist. I'm on the fence about whether I want to finish this weekend, because this is one of my Spookathon books. I did actually start it at the beginning of the month as an October read for Halloween, and then when I saw the Spookathon, I put it aside and came back to it and continued it. But I'm tempted to leave like the last chapter or two to read on Halloween night itself. So I'm not decided yet. I'll figure that out as I get close to the end of the book, whether I just want to finish it up this weekend and close it out, or whether I want to hold that last chapter aside for the 31st. We'll see. That's probably going to be determined far more by my reread of It. This I've been rereading all month. It's another readathon I've been doing. It's Ittober, that Paperback Junkie put together and is hosting. He's reading it for the first time ever, and he broke it out into chapter groups for the entire month, so there's reading of it every single day of the month of October. And I'm about 3 days behind. Spookathon has kind of put a train wreck on my Ittober reading. So at some point, I'm going to need to just sit down and probably read like 120, 150 pages of this to catch up. Maybe even more, I don't know. I haven't looked to see just how many chapters I am behind. But this is one of my absolute favorite Stephen King books. Thoroughly enjoying the reread. So catching up on this might derail finishing this. I don't really know yet. And the other book I'm reading is, and I will just put the little picture here, is Nnedi Okorafor's Who Fears Death. That was my other main Spookathon read. Not that it's a spooky book per se, but one of the challenges was a book with orange on the cover, and that's as orange as it gets, pretty much. So, and this is just a stunning book so far. I'm just about 43% in, and it is absolutely stunning and brilliant, and every bit as good as I was expecting it to be. And I'm really, really interested and excited to see how HBO is going to tackle this book, because HBO is doing Who Fears Death as a new HBO series. And George R.R. Martin is involved as a producer, and Nnedi Okorafor, she's involved in the production as well. She's right now participating in picking who's directing, and she's involved in making sure the right people are put in place. Because this is I was going to say it's an Afro-futurist story, but there's a whole big discussion going on about what that term even means. Nnedi, you can see on her Twitter feed, she talks about it a lot. But it is a story set in Africa, in a post-apocalyptic Africa, quite in the future. And it's really, really, really interesting, because it deals with magic and sorcery, and there's even a genocide taking place. And the main character, she's really, really, really interesting character to read. And it's written in first person from her perspective. But I'd like to finish this weekend as well, but I'm not interested really in just rushing through it to rush through it. I don't want to finish it just to finish it. I'm really, really enjoying it, and I want to read it and absorb it and think about it, and because there's a lot packed into this book. And that is pretty much it for this weekend. Next week is I get back to a Victorian read because I'm also doing Victober, but just slightly. I've read one Victorian book earlier in the month, and next week I'm going to be reading the very first Sherlock Holmes book. I think it's A Scandal in Bohemia. And I have the reprinting of all the Strand publications of the original Sherlock Holmes stories, so I'm going to read it as it was laid out in the Strand magazine originally, so I'm looking forward to that. But that's next week. So this pretty much is this weekend. Finishing the Graveyard Book, maybe finishing The Exorcist, trying to catch up on it, and reading some more of Who Fears Death. So that's about it for now. I hope you have a good weekend. Please like and subscribe if this is your first time here. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've read any of these books that I'm reading or what your particular Friday reads and your weekend reads are. And I will see you down in the comments and on Twitter. And again, thank you very much. I'm Charles with Sir Booksage. Happy reading.